there, welcome on this beautiful, completely brand new channel. And on this brand new video, actually first one on this brand new channel. Today I'm going to explain you how I created an entire chaos on my school with just one single email. One single email. Keep watching. As you can see right now in front of me, there is an email with a grabber file link in it, sent by, well, it stands here that it is sent by Ricardo Berends under the email address of ricardoberends@salesed.nl. This mail is not sent by Ricardo, no, it's sent by me. And in this video, I'm going to explain you how I've sent this email. Of course, the reason for the chaos in the video, that's just very easy. If you see the link, a lot of people clicked on it. 500 students in total clicked on that link. 500. But before we go talk about the chaos itself, let me explain how I made this email. And let's start by just simply explaining you how to analyze this single email. Keep watching. Now we are going to analyze the email that was sent. It was, of course, not sent by its original sender. So let me explain how you can find out from where this email was actually sent. To do that, simply you'll have to head over to the three dots right here and click on More. Then you'll have to look for the button where it says view the original or original message, or whatever this says. It has to have something to do with original. You click on it, which will lead you to the code of the email. Now this is where the important part comes. Whenever you look into the email it's original, you see a lot of code. Well, to actually know from where the email was sent, you simply have to use, well, if you're a Windows user, you use Ctrl F, but if you're a Mac user or an Apple user, you just do Command F. Now here you can select the word. I've searched for bitten lemon, apparently, and you have to look for received. Whenever typing this in, there will come a lot of SMTP servers. For example, here you can see one, but you have to look a bit more down and then look for the mail's its origin. So here you can see that they received from mailsort@google.com, and then it has a certain IP address. So here, you can see that the email, the IP address it was sent from is this. Now here comes the part where you can see from where this email was actually sent. It's already kind of secretly here. You can see that the SF Three, two, one. You can secretly actually see that the email was sent through SPF domain is webhosting.be. A normal email doesn't have specifically it doesn't use a different form of code. It just uses that the SPF path, or it has none, or it just is Google, Outlook, any just original from a service, not of course webhosting.be. So now to see what actually the content of the IP address is, so from where it was sent, you can have for Taylor's Intelligence, taylorintelligence.com. Taylor's is actually some form of, you can, like, if you woo an IP is, its owner, where it's located, that kind of information, just basic. So here you're going to fill in the IP address, which is of course here noted. You click on this little search icon, and that will give you details about the email. Now this of course shows you that the email was sent through Google. The owner of the mail is Google, you see. But when you see here, see that there is some information available about that. The domain is located in Belgium, and if you go to who is, you already found out that the host is Combel. So now what we'll have to do is we'll have to find out what site is actually sending this email, because whenever going to webhosting.be, you won't find an anonymous email sender. No, there will be only a kind of hosting site. That hosting site looks like this. It's just a control panel, which is absolutely nothing. You can't do anything. It's just a server. But the email does not come up from there. It was not sent from here. No, it was sent from a form to the servers of webhosting.be and then to the receiver. Now, I am going to explain you who the email sender was and how you can actually find out from where the email was sent. What form was it used while sending the email, and how can you find it? Well, there's a simple answer for that. If you look closer into the details of the email, you can find out that there are several IPs noted into the email. For example, these are all noted, but there is one that is where you can look by its send. So you look for sender, and the sender original has an authenticated. If you look a bit more down, you can find that the email is more clear. The site has been here. You go to be at webhosting.be with its own IP address. Then looking further in the details, you can also see that the email was sent from Ricardo Verens, but by go to be hosted, which is not this cool server. Now going back to reputation lookup on Cisco Taylor's, you can actually find out that when going to who is, that this same site, so go to be webhosting.be, is also hosted by Combel. Since that app webhosting.be is a site, so it's actually a domain, and GoToBe is the site under the domain, you can actually go and look up for GoToBe. So going to GoToBe, you can just fill it out in somewhere into your browser, and then you can find its site, GoToBe, and its contents. Going to the site itself, you can actually see what its IP address is and who is hosting it. You simply copy the site and go here on Taylor's again, and then you can find out by again scrolling a bit down. There's also a Belgium site hosted by again Combel. Let me actually explain this just simply. The email was not sent through a school email, no, it was sent through webhosting.be. Webhosting.be has its own servers, so it can email other services, but on another actually send this address. It doesn't need any verification. You can actually send any email without any password through anyone. So basically said, you can literally do whatever you want. Well, now simply, if you go to here, you see just thousands of kind of contents, and it will take hours to find it on this page. So to simply now find it, you can only just type in anonymous mailer, or just even you can just type in mail and then you add just the site in it. So instead of the entire website link, you just go mail, go to BE. If you wait a few seconds, you'll get the results from Google, And there you'll see that there are a few links telling you about the free webmail host, the free email address, and also to send an email fastly. This is Dutch, but if you translate it, it says that you can send an email fast. When you go to that link, you actually find out that you can choose which sender you want to, which name you want for the sender, the receiver, and of course the subject and the message into the entire thing. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was exactly the way that I have sent the email. But now you also know how you can track down an email and know from where it was sent and if it's actually a legal email or illegal. So let's say it was illegal, you can now find out from who it was sent and from where. Also, while knowing the address from where it was sent, you can actually look up into a network or ask some administrator of the network to look for persons who visited that link, and then you can of course find out who sent the email. And well, that's exactly where the entire clue just came in. Now to of course show you how the service is working, I will be just doing this by myself. Let's test it out. Let's say I want to get emailed by myself. I'm not going to use anyone's other email, but I'm just going to use mine. So let's say I want to email myself, my own name, and then of course the receiver of the email. So let's again add myself. Let's the subject just say, "Hi YouTube," why not? Then as a message we say this was a test. Then of course you have a captcha you have to fix. In this case it's in case. Alright. If you wait a few seconds you get the message, your email was successfully sent, and going back to your email, you will receive in a few seconds the email by myself. There it is. In just a few seconds you got the email, this was a test. YouTube. By myself with my own profile picture. And that was just the way that I sent the email. So fast and so easy. Now let me explain you what the content of the original mail was. Let's head back to the email where the original email that was sent. So before we go look into the link, I want to disclaim that 500 students click this link. Before we continue, know that if there is just a random email with a weird kind of spam thing and with some weird details in the mail and with like a weird layout like this, and there's just a random link, don't click on it. First research what the link does. So before you click a link, make sure you know where it leads you to. Just simply select the link, copy it, go to a redirect checker. I highly recommend redirectcheck.com. Just fill in here the entire link and click on trace. When doing that, so it will give you all the results, what it does, where it leads you to, and what it actually does. So the first thing it does, it moves you of course to grab a file, but that gives an error 31301 moved permanent, which is actually going to redirect you. But if you look into the details, you can see here that it leads you to a Cloudflare server. If you're not familiar with Cloudflare, it's actually a way that people can track down DDoS attacks and see how many users are registered. Cloudflare actually registers your IP address. That is exactly what it does. It's an IP logger. You can also see it here in the cookies. Verify IP logger session, and then it has a session with a lot of code, and then it leads you of course to Cloudflare. After it leads you to our school site, so it's program.nl, and then it just does nothing except, well, having your IP logged. And yeah, that's the content of the mail, and that's also the way how you can see what it does. So now whenever clicking that link, all your IP credentials will be noted into the link, and actually someone can just know what phone you have, where you are at that moment, and what your IP address is. That's pretty dangerous. So before you click any link, make sure you know who the sender is, why he sent it to you, and if it's a redirect link, just make sure you check it its link and see what it does. Make sure it's not a Cloudflare link if you don't want your IP to be going anywhere. Make that sure, because someone with bad potential goals can actually really do bad things with your IP address. It doesn't sound anything bad, but if it has your IP address, it's also known to root the IP of your home, which means it can actually host a DDoS attack on your house. That's not nice. You don't want that. So make sure the next time you click any link, 500 students that click the link, make sure you know who it sends to you and just don't click it randomly, not knowing what it is and what it does. That was the video for today. Make sure you subscribe, and I hope you will be there again the next time. Bye.